And hello, everyone. Welcome to another special edition of the ETBU Sportsnet with Kenneth the K-Rock Klein right here. And we are going to be talking to an ETBU alumnus who's making a big name for himself up north in Canada, to say the least. I'm joined, of course, by former ETBU football player Sam Williams. Sam, of course, a 2-year member of the ETBU Tiger squad, was named All-ASC second team in 2015, the same season in which ETBU won a share of the conference championship. And we will talk more into ETBU in just a moment. But first and foremost, Sam, kind of give us an update of what's been going on with you lately. I know it's been kind of crazy times up there. Just kind of give us an update of what's been going on.
Yeah, man, like you said, crazy times, COVID-19, kind of made it hard for workouts and everything. Just been pretty much, bringing up my daughter. I got a 2-year-old daughter now. Been having a lot of things going on in my life, but at the same time, been kind of staying active as far as football and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, COVID-19 is certainly a big factor. I'm sure there's still some kind of restrictions going on up there as well. But obviously, you're kind of getting ready for, another season up there potentially as well. So just kind of talk about what you're trying to do just to stay fit and how you were able to kind of keep, being in, working out during the pandemic.
Yeah. So, like I said, it got kind of hard out here. Been having to go back and forth from America to Canada these past couple of years and everything. Luckily, I knew some guys out there in Arizona. That's where I was out there training in Phoenix, Arizona. Just kind of getting with them, and it's kind of wide open out there. It's a little different from the rest of the world. And out there, COVID-19 rules kind of lax. So give me a chance to kind of do what things I need to do and make sure I'm staying in shape and everything like that. As far as everything else goes, just kind of staying with it, staying motivated, trying to stay motivated,
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, you've been up here with, you're now with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers of the CFL. But when you first got to the Canadian Football League, it was with the Saskatchewan Rough Riders as well. Kind of talk about, you find out that you get a phone call or so from the CFL, from the Rough Riders saying, hey, we want to take a look at you, have a chance to sign you and all that. Just kind of talk about that particular moment and your reaction of, being an opportunity to play for professionally.
Yeah. So, 2017, did all my pro days. After the pro days and everything, San Francisco 49ers, they gave me a chance to come out there and play for their rookie minicamp right after the draft. Went through that and everything. Things were good out there. Didn't have a chance to make their squad this particular. A couple of weeks later, had a couple of people on the coaching staff of our team, East Texas Baptist. We talked about some things saying I should try some CFL tries and everything. So that's kind of what I did. Went out there, went to Saskatchewan. First was Montreal, then I went to Saskatchewan. Pretty much we was out there, did my thing out there, and a couple of days later got a call saying they want to fly me up. So now I'm rushing to go get a passport and everything because I didn't have a passport at the time. So it's like, you got to have a passport. Went to Dallas, got the passport, had to do a turnaround, pack all my stuff up, then turn right back around to get to the Dallas flight and get out. So yeah, man, when I got the call, I was excited. First got there, first day was a little spinning and everything. Head was kind of spinning because CFL football is different from American football. I wouldn't say too much different as far as like the experience of the players, how people playing. I would say just the rules. So yeah, it was an adjustment. Had to get adjusted to it, but everything worked out.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, you grew up in Monroe, Louisiana, in a way, and obviously, I'm sure you've had visions of your head playing in the NFL, whether it be for the Cowboys or the Saints or whatever team you grew up rooting for as well. But then, next thing you know, you're getting an opportunity to play professional football, just not in the American side. It's up in Canada as well. So, like, any kind of experience, like obviously you talked a little bit about differences between the CFL as well. But what would you say is like the biggest adjustment you had to make? Obviously, you told me about the passport situation, having to go to and from packing up and then, trying to get adjusted to life up north as well, where it snows pretty much, I don't know, half the year or so.
Yeah.
What do you think has kind of been the biggest adjustment overall in the CFL? Maybe from on the field or maybe off the field, something that you've noticed that maybe you hadn't really experienced before.
Yeah, off the field, I mean, I would honestly say it was. I would say like the food and everything. Like, man, the food is just it's not. It's you got to eat a lot different out here. So my nutrition definitely got in check when I got here. The people and everything. I mean, they love America. They love American culture. We sit down, we talk a lot. They talk about what they got going on in Canada, and then I tell them about America. Kind of a teaching thing, as far as the fall goes. Definitely another change right there. I don't know if you know anything of the waggle up here. It's called the waggle. That would be the slot receiver. His emotion, he gets emotion before the play. He gets to actually run full speed at you. So it was one of the things. And I'm a defensive back, and I've been playing, defensive back pretty much since I was 7 years old. So it's kind of when you go from playing stationary to now having to move around a lot, your feet and everything more. The more advantages with the offense. Offense advantage is more up here. Down south, it's pretty much it's kind of even more man on man. And up here it's more like it's kind of what you know. You keep praying into it.
Right. Any particular moment like in a game that sort of sticks out to you that you just has been your like favorite CFL moment up to this point?
I say my favorite CFL moment was when I went against Kendall Robertson. Yeah, I went against Kendall because we played with each other. We got that ring together, and that was a good time. And when I first met Kendall, it was an exciting moment too. When I first met him down there in East Texas, he was telling me about what was going on and what was expected. Me, coming there new, I didn't really know what to expect. Everything just different, from talking to him, talking to Coach Ergo and everything. And just everything felt different. But when I got a chance to play with him, he was actually playing for Winnipeg already. I was playing with Saskatchewan preseason. Yeah, we got a chance to go with each other. He got a little move on me and everything. So I give it to him. I give it to him right there.
That's good for you. I mean, he was a great running back as well, and it's kind of interesting how you played at a small Division III university, and for you to play so well that you're at least getting a chance to play professionally as well. Like, how would you say that East Texas Baptist University in total helped you prepare for getting the chance that you're getting right now?
Oh yeah. East Texas Baptist, they helped me. I mean, I can't put it into words, to how much. I mean, all I can say is just with the time spent with the coaches there, with the people there, it was really a humbling moment with me being, at ETBU, growing with the rest of the community at ETBU, showing me, that God is first. Definitely God is always first, and the things that we do, you work hard and get it, And before I came to ETBU, it was I wouldn't say that I was more in the churches like that. If I would say I got a lot more religious belief as far as like the things that go on in my day to day life and the things that happens with me. And it kind of helped me out. Kind of let me keep my faith forward. Pretty much just go from there. Working hard. Dr. Blackburn. Dr. Blackburn. I got real close with him. I got so close with him, I started calling him Coach Blackburn. Got to the point where we were doing that. And he talked to me a lot. He was telling me a lot of things about just not giving up. And it was some hard times. I had some hard times, like everybody. Jump over some hoops and everything. And I think that's those things right there is what helped me, when I started going out there and pursuing pro career. Because college is college. When you get out there in a pro career, it's kind of handling. It's pretty much on your own. You gotta have it in you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, when people ask you, like up there, when they ask you where you're from, like, and you say, well, you went to East Texas Baptist University, like, what do you like when they ask what's it like? What do you kind of tell them?
Yeah, I mean, I tell them, you know, we was in a small city. You know, it was just us, small community. But you know, we had good people around. A lot of people always say they never heard of the school. You know, most of the time they say they heard about Marshall, but they never just heard about ETBU exactly. So you know, I fill them in. You know, when I get on the field, you know, I definitely show them, you know, and represent where I'm from. You know, so they know it.
Absolutely, indeed. And, you know, looking back at some of your highlights, one particular play that kind of stands out, I believe it was like a 96-yard pick six return against Texas Lutheran back in 2015 as well. You kind of recollect that play as well, and what was kind of going through your mind?
Oh yeah, going through my mind with that play was just sticking to my keys. You know, Coach Smith, my DB coach at the time, he's basically, you know, going over everything for the whole week. That play in particular, you know, it popped up and it was like, okay, yeah, I seen this, read this key, read that key. You know, I picked the ball off and yeah, from there, you know, I just felt like, you know, I didn't want to get caught at the time. Just go ahead and take this to the house for my team.
Yeah, no, that was a huge play in that game as well. And then obviously the 2015 season, a very special one for ETBU, having the right to share at least a conference championship as well. And the game that stands out of obviously the one against the mud bowl, if you will, against Hardin Simmons University. I mean, you're talking about playing up in cold conditions. We were playing in very devastating conditions. Obviously, you think back the week prior, the Monsoon Bowl against Belhaven University when Kendall ran 100 or so yards, and then you getting a chance to play in a mud bowl against Hardin Simmons. The leading up to that game, you knew that if you won, that you were at least going to get a share of that championship. So you kind of, what was the mindset in that team leading up to the week as you were getting ready to take on a very talented Hardin Simmons squad?
We were leading up to that day in practice. We were pretty much focused. We were just, that's all it was just focused. That was the word of the week. Just pretty much just trying to stay focused. And when we got there, you know, it was like everything else, you know, that happened outside of the lines, it didn't even matter no more. We were there inside of the lines. Everything was there. You know, family problems that we had going on, friends and things, you know, situations that people had going on outside of that. You know, once we got to that day, that's what only mattered at that time. You know, we all banded together, we found a way and we did it. And that's, you know, that's a very, very memorable experience for me. I still got the ring. You know, I don't even wear the ring. I just keep it put up in the case. You know, I don't even wear it really. Got it at home in my dad's right there in my dad's living room.
Yeah, good advice. When you get a ring, don't wear it as often. I mean, just put it in like a storage room. I mean, I got my fair share of rings. I keep them in a storage room or something like that as well. So, but yeah. I mean, obviously, the lasting legacy that you left, you know, with ETBU, obviously, you were part of a team that started a few seasons prior. They were like 3-7, and then they ended up having their first winning season in some time. And since then, it's been consistent with ETBU. You're seeing them having winning seasons left and right and really making some big noise against all these top teams, especially in our conference as well. Like when you left ETBU and knowing that you were a part of the reason why this ETBU football team is continuing to have the success it's had, how does that make you feel knowing that, you know, you were a big part of something that is continuing to grow?
I mean, it felt good, you know, it felt real good. I mean, obviously it wasn't me on my own, you know, like we had our other players, other teammates, you know, other guys on the team that we all came together in that year. It was just one of them things where it was like for me, you know, after a while I couldn't believe that happened because I've never been a champion before that. You know, I've been on winning programs, I've been at winning programs, but we never got a chance to actually get a ring. And that's, you know, that's something that you could share. You know, you can share that for life with your brothers, you know.
Absolutely, indeed. And well, Sam, big thank you for taking your time. I know that you just got out of a meeting, and I know you're getting ready for another season up in the Canadian Football League. Hopefully this one goes very well for you as well. But we always like to reflect on your time at ETBU, and thanks so much for joining us.
Yes, sir. Take it easy.
All right. Well, that is Sam Williams. I'm Kenneth the K-Rock Klein. Stay tuned. We'll have more for you on the ETBU Sportsnet.